I'm standing at an Air Force station, and behind me are the visuals of a sea of drills of Air Force pilots where they're going to take off this particular Tejas fighter plane, and this is happening as a routine, which is a routine exercise that generally happens before a sea off. And this is what happening. You can see the Air Force pilots basically giving it a check for the whole system as to if everything is working pretty fine or not. Also the pressure, the kind of fuel arrangements and all other things. As of now, Tejas is one of the indigenously developed fighter plane, which as of now you can see in the visuals that the pilot is all set to take a flight in it. And as of now you are seeing the sea of drill, which is the technical name of this particular exercise, where a pilot actually first checks the check and balances and also the system if everything is working fine or not, and then actually takes the flight. Talking about Tejas, Tejas is one of the advanced fighter plane India has, and the basic advantage is that it is the indigenously designed and developed fighter plane that India has. Currently you are seeing the Mark version, which is the initial version of this fighter plane, and India is all set to replace its MiG series with these Tejas fighter plane. In fact, in February 2021, we have signed a deal with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, where we are going to procure at least 83 more Tejas fighter planes, and these are Tejas Mark 1 fighter plane. But as of now, this exercise, which is an important exercise before the actual flight, the particular drill, that is the sea of drill of the Indian Air Force. Sea of drill of Tejas fighter plane. This is what I'm showing you in the visuals. As of now, you can see the Air Force pilot as of now carrying out the proper exercise before taking a flight in Tejas fighter plane. This is an Air Force station from where the pilots are all set to take this particular flight. Tejas is a fighter plane, an indigenously developed fighter plane that is basically built in India and is designed by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. As of now, you are seeing this crucial exercise before the actual flight. Talking about Tejas fighter plane, so these fighter planes are important in many aspects, but two aspects for which these are important. So these are lightweight fighter planes and are all-weather fighter planes. As of now, you are seeing this particular exercise, which is the sea of drill, the technical name, and you are seeing these pilots giving it a check as to if every system, every sort of system is working pretty fine or not, and after that they'll be taking a flight. Also, this is very crucial at a time of any contingency, because this is the minimum time, and in fact they are asked to take the minimum time for this particular drill, but that doesn't mean that they have to escape or they have to exclude any of the important step, and that's the reason why even the minimum time takes much of their time, and it is a crucial time. As of now, you are seeing the visuals of this sea of drill, which is happening as of now before the actual flight here at this particular Air Force station. The aerial display of Sarang team, that is normally named as the brand ambassador of Indian Air Force. Behind me are the visuals of these Dhruv helicopters you are seeing as of now. These are the part of this Sarang aerial display team, and also one of the most reliable helicopters of Indian Air Force. As of now, this is the only team that has 4 helicopters in it and is known for its aerial display. Also, this is not the only time when you are seeing this representation, because not only in India but in many countries this team has shown its aerial display and is known for that particular display. Whenever you see the program of Indian Air Force, you see generally these displays. Sarang team is basically known for these displays. And also, talking about these specific helicopters, these helicopters, as I mentioned, are the most reliable helicopters of the Indian Air Force, and that's the reason why we are going to see the light combat helicopter, attack helicopter specifically, in the days to come. In fact, Air Force has inducted these helicopters in its fleet, and as of now we are reporting from a base in Coimbatore, and this is the base for these Dhruv helicopters, which is also a part of Sarang aerial display team. These are the 4 helicopters that you are seeing in your visuals as of now and are called as the brand ambassador of Indian Air Force. We are reporting from this particular base where you are seeing these visuals on your screen, and as of now these are the most reliable helicopters of Indian Air Force and is a part of this Sarang air display team. I'm standing at Sulur Air Base, and Adjacent to me is the Dhruv helicopter, which is also a part of Sarang Air Display team of the Indian Air Force. It is one of the most reliable helicopter as per the officers of the Air Force. And as of now, you are seeing these visuals where you can see this red color and also the peacock in this particular helicopter. We have this Mark 1 helicopter as of now in this particular base. But talking about the variants, we have a Mark 2, Mark 3 and Mark 4, which is also the attack helicopter of Indian Air Force. Talking about this particular base and this particular variant, so these helicopters are a part of Sarang aerial display team, which is also called as the brand ambassador of Indian Air Force. As of now, this is the only military team that has 4 helicopters in it and is the only team that has 4 helicopters and is a aerial display team. As of now, I'll try to talk to some officers as to what are the specific details of this particular helicopter, Dhruv helicopter, and while talking about this particular helicopter and its variants, so what is it that we call it a different helicopter, a most reliable helicopter. I'm joined by Wing Commander Sridhar. Sir, you tell me, while talking about Dhruv, so what it is that make it different from other helicopters.
Okay, first of all, it's a indigenously developed helicopter which is manufactured by HAL. Okay, it's inducted in way back in 2003. Since that, it's in operational flying. The primary purpose of this helicopter, this Dhruv in particular, it's a display aircraft. You can see the color scheme of the aircraft, which is painted bright, suited for this role. And otherwise, the aircraft has been employed everywhere all over the country, right from hills in the north to our waters in the south. It's been proving its mettle, and the time stands a testimony that this aircraft has been performing whenever it has been called upon by IAF.
Also, they call it brand ambassador, and also it's a part of brand ambassador team, Sarang aerial display team. So they say that this is the only team that has 4 helicopters and the aerial display team. What do you have to say about that particular aspect?
Okay, currently you have many fixed wing aerobatic display teams performing all over the world. Right now there is no another military helicopter, multiple helicopter performing display elsewhere in the world. So that makes it distinct that Sarang is the only multiple helicopter display team, military display team in the world right now.
All right, so I have Wing Commander Nick as well. Sir, you tell me, talking about the variants, because we got to know that now we have an attack helicopter of the same variant of the same base. So what you have to tell about this particular helicopter and also the upcoming variants of this particular base?
Yeah, so this is Dhruv helicopter LH Mark 1, and subsequently on the same platform, upgrade avionics for Mark 2, Mark 3, and the most recent one Mark 4, that is the Rudra. And thereafter we have newly inducted LCH as well. So they are almost on the same platform. The LCH obviously is a slightly different aircraft. But then this is the most initial one that was inducted in 2003. The team came into being in 2004. And since then we've been doing displays and all other roles as well.
While talking about the sitting capacity, so how many passengers can actually sit, and talking about the particular pit, so what you have to tell about specifically about the particular pit and the passenger capacity?
Okay, apart from captain, co-pilot, and there's a seat for gunner, we can carry 14 troops. 14 troops, as in if we are carrying air maintenance, we are dropping the troops, and one go, we can carry 14 passengers.
Can we say it is used for travel, taking passengers from one place to another in a time of crisis as well? It can be used?
Yeah, it has been used. In fact, Op Rahat is the most wonderful example where we carried thousands of people in Dehradun, Uttarakhand Valley, different valleys were there, Gauchar Valley and all. So that was a time wherein humanitarian aid was utilized, and our full unit was there. 4 or 5 helicopters from us, and all the pilots were there. And subsequently in Kerala floods and all other floods. So that role we have been doing. So it's not only the display that we do, we are also a normal helicopter team. We're in a normal helicopter unit which we are doing all the roles, CASEVAC, humanitarian aids and relief.
And all other things as well. All right, so talking about this particular helicopter again, so it is also used for the rescue operations, as the officer rightly mentioned. And as of now, if I can again show you the visuals and overall 360-degree view of this particular helicopter, indigenously made helicopter, which is the Mark 1 base variant. And as of now, you are seeing the color scheme is very much important, because this helicopter is used for aerial display, and as the officer rightly mentioned, this is the only military team which has the 4 helicopters and is in the aerial display part. And also talking about this particular variant, so they have said that they are constantly upgrading the particular variant. This is the base variant, the Dhruv helicopter, but we have the constant upgrade in it, and as of now we have an attack helicopter as well that has also been inducted in the Indian Air Force. Talking about this particular helicopter and the base, so this is the base, the Sulur Air Base is the base for this particular unit, and as of now the helicopter is the most reliable helicopter that is not only used for aerial display but is also used for other purposes. So we can say that this is a multi-purpose helicopter for Indian Air Force. I'm joined by Group Captain Promeet Bose, who is here to tell us about the homemade Tejas fighter plane in fact. Sir, talking about the experience first, they say this is the best in the world. How can, one clearly, come to this particular point that this is the best? Like what it is that you are saying this is the best?
Okay, for its class, it is definitely the best. And I have no shame in admitting that because it's Indian, it is the best. What makes this aircraft the best or one of the best is its weapon payload capacity, the kind of avionics that it has. It is fourth generation plus, 4.5 generation. The fly-by-wire law of the aircraft, the control laws have been made by us, and most importantly, the handling of this aircraft is extremely agile, nimble, and at the end of the day, it's a very pilot-friendly aircraft. It is easy to start up. It's easy to taxi out. It's easy to fight with. It is easy to land, and the aircraft is pretty intuitive in the sense that it tells you what's wrong with it, and not only does it tell you what is wrong with it, it tells you how to correct it also. So therefore, from a piloting perspective, and therefore if the piloting becomes easy, as a pilot I can concentrate on the operational aspect of the mission than just flying it. So now when I'm fighting with this aircraft, because it is so easy to fly, it is so robust, it is so what do you say, the fact that it is very operationally good means that I can actually concentrate more on the operational aspect and the weapon delivery and the fighting aspects of my mission than actually just merely piloting the aircraft.
As a pilot, sir, even as an officer of Indian Air Force, they say this is the present and future of Indian Air Force. And given the fact that by 25 we are going to phase out mixed series, and also as of now in 2016 when we inducted it first, now we have signed a deal as well. How crucial you think this deal is, and how crucial the time you think that it is going to be when we are going to see the more inductions and more upgrades in this particular variant?
See, the fact that we have chosen to go for a homegrown product itself means that the nation has reposed a lot of faith not only in the aircraft but also on the pilots who fly it. Now, because of the latest deal, very soon you will find that this particular fleet and this aircraft per se, or the various variants of this aircraft, is going to in times to come become the backbone of the Air Force. Now, because it's a homegrown product, we have the handles on everything that the aircraft is capable of. Okay, we've written the software, we've designed the entire thing. So, from it is, I can call it future proof. I can integrate whatever I want in it based on the policy decision of the policy makers, and it's just a matter of time that this aircraft, I feel, in times to come will grow from strength to strength.
Talking about the variants, because I just mentioned that we are constantly working to bring on some upgrades in this particular thing. In fact, HAL is working on the upgrades. How many variants as of now we have talking about the Tejas fighter plane?
We have one variant in the Air Force which is generically known as the Tejas Mk2. But it is in two versions, that is the IOC and which is the FOC. The aircraft that is behind us is the FOC.
And also about the squadron, because we are standing in Sulur Air Base and we were told that there are 2 squadrons that are raised in this particular Air Force. Can you tell us more about those 2 squadrons, sir?
Yeah, so the older of the 2 squadrons is 45 Squadron. This was the first squadron to re-equip with the Tejas IOC version. And subsequently, once all the deliveries to this particular squadron was made, the Air Force decided to resurrect number 18 squadron, which operates the FOC version of the aircraft.
Also, they stress on Atmanirbhar Bharat. And talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, we have an example. We have a Tejas in front of us. And, they say that there is a huge difference between other fighter aircrafts, fighter planes, and this particular thing. And you rightly mentioned about the payload and all other things. Talking about the missile capacity, sir, they said that we are also trying to incorporate BrahMos in it. Is it true, and how true is the statement is?
Like I said, the Air Force and the government can integrate anything that they want on this aircraft because the design is ours. Specifically, if we talk about indigenous weapons, I mean, no doubt that in times to come that the entire payload capacity of this aircraft is going to be Indian in nature.
The present and future of Indian Air Force. This is Tejas fighter plane, which I'm showing you in the visuals as of now, the base variant, which is deputed here in Sulur Air Base as of now. This is Tejas Mk2, which is the base variant and got inducted in year 2016 in the Indian Air Force. Homemade fighter plane, this is what we call it, indigenous fighter plane, this is what we call it, and also one of the best in the world as per the Indian Air Force officers. So HAL company has developed and made this particular fighter plane that can fly up to 50,000 feet and with a speed of more than 710 knots, which is roughly 1300 kilometers per hour. They say it is one of the best also because it is lightweighted and can carry a variety of weapons and missiles in it. As of now, in Sulur Air Base, we have two squadrons of Tejas fighter plane. The first one is the Flying Dagger and the second one is Flying Bullet. And also, if I can show you the visuals, the specific body of this homemade fighter plane. Indian officers say that the technology and the specification is so convenient and so different that they feel that this is the blessed, this is the best they are flying, and also because it is homemade, it gives them a different sort of feeling. Also talking about the recent development in the fleet. So in year 2021, Defense Ministry signed a deal with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the same company that has developed this fighter plane, that they'll be giving us 83 more Tejas fighter plane and of course the upgrade version of this particular base model, which is Tejas Mk1 Alpha. And by 2025, we are going to phase out our mix series and are going to induct more and more variant of this Tejas aircraft. Prime Minister Modi talks about Atmanirbhar Bharat, and this Tejas aircraft, this Tejas fighter plane is one of the best example of Atmanirbhar Bharat. I'm standing in Sulur Air Base of the Indian Air Force, which is in the down south India and is one of the most important and crucial air base of Indian Air Force. It is the second largest air base station after Hindustan Air Base Station and is set to be the most crucial one because from here the Indian Air Force protects the sea area of India. And also talking about the history of this particular station, so it was started in British Raj in 1940, but as of now is the most crucial one. And why it is so important, I am joined by Wing Commander Ashish Moge to tell us more about it. Sir, when we talk about Sulur Air Base, so they say that strategically this is very important and this is very crucial for Indian Air Force. Why it is so, if you can just summarize it.
Hi Akash. The Sulur Air Base is located at a very important place in the peninsular region of India. It's part of the Southern Air Command, which is based at Trivandrum. And as far as the importance of the base is concerned, it is very close to the Indian Ocean region, and this is where the Air Force can project its power through this base. This particular base houses two very important indigenized platforms. One is the light combat aircraft Tejas, the Mark 1 is what we have here, two squadrons of that. And we have a unit of ALH, that is 151 helicopter unit, also known as the Sarang helicopter display team. Now as far as indigenization is concerned, you can make out the importance of this base since these platforms are there. Also, this is the only base in the Air Force where fighters, transports and helicopters are based and they operate on an everyday basis.
Sir, you mentioned it very clearly that this is one of the most important. It guards basically the sea area from Lakshadweep to Andaman and Nicobar, if I'm not wrong. Also, they say that while talking about the fleet here, so we have the carrier aircrafts here, we have the fighter planes here, we have a variety of planes here. Can you throw some more light on it as well?
We do not have carrier-based aircraft here. We have the land-based aircraft, which are the light combat aircraft Tejas, the advanced light helicopter. Apart from that, we have AN-32 squadron and a Mi-17 V5 unit housed here in Sulur.
Also, sir, going into the history a bit, they say that it was started in British Raj, and during the time when we got independence, so it was used by both Navy and Indian Air Force. So, is it like that as of now, Indian Navy is also using this particular station, or is it for Indian Air Force as of now?
Navy has a presence here at FO Station Sulur itself, and we have continued relations with the Navy since the future wars are going to be fought in a joint manner. Uh, the base also undertakes exercises from time to time with sister services, and that is how everything will be done.
Also, the importance can be felt with the fact that you rightly mentioned that we have two homemade aircrafts here, fighter planes here. One is of course the Tejas. We have two squadron, if I'm not wrong. The one is flying a Bullet, and the another one is flying Dagger. Can you talk about some units that are presently housing at this particular airbase, in case you can tell about it?
Well, as I just mentioned, apart from the Tejas squadron, we have a ALH unit, the Sarang helicopter display team, as well as a Mi-17 V5 unit, and we have a AN-32 squadron.
Also, they say that the distance from the west coast and the east coast of this particular Air Force station is a bit same, and strategically you mentioned that it is important, and I want to tell our viewers that talking about this Air Force station, so this is very crucial because whenever there is a need of Indian Air Force, be it the rescue operation, be it the flood condition or any other condition, so Air Force is always ready for operations like such. If you can tell us more about it, sir, because just a few months back we saw that how the condition was in the cities like cities like Chennai and others. If you can throw some more light on those developments, that whenever there is a need, whenever there is a need for rescue operation or flood-like conditions are there, so what is the response time of the Indian Air Force, and how crucial it is for those particular operations?
Yeah, sure. As far as the Indian Air Force is concerned, in this particular area under Southern Air Command, there are two helicopter units. Both are based at FO Station Sulur. Both these helicopter units undertake a variety of roles. Amongst these roles is humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. This base has been actively involved in the past few years for such rescues in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, in surrounding areas, and I think they have provided great service to the nation, not only in terms of protecting our skies, but also towards nation building, towards saving lives, and towards contributing towards the nation's cause.